Um, Hi everyone, it's me again, and I today I wanted to talk about the phrase "just pick yourself up by your bootstraps." Um, and I mean, plenty on the left and even on the liberal left, which I don't generally consider myself a part of, has been said on this phrase. And it's a phrase that, you know, conservatives, people on the right, libertarians love to use a lot. Um, and I kind of want to debunk it. Um, and explain why it's such BS and one of the most condescending things you could ever tell a disadvantaged person. Now, let me be generous. Let me give the most well-meaning interpretation of the phrase or why they're saying that, right? Because they want you to believe in yourself, right? Believe that you can do it, overcome adversity. All that stuff is great, guys. And I believe that people should try. I've said that you should know when to give up, but that is not the same thing as saying you shouldn't try. I've always been an advocate of trying. Um, it's just, I will never stop believing that some things are just not worth it, or that there are certain things that are impossible. Like, this is a silly example, but it's just to prove a point. I, a disabled man, will never be, or I should say, a 5'3" to 5'7" severely disabled man will never be an NBA star. Ever. Like, yeah, I could do maybe some good on the wheelchair basketball circuit. But in terms of traditional um and NBA leagues and teams, heck no, bruh. Um but it goes deeper, right? Like, what conservatives, or a lot of conservatives, don't realize is that you can still do everything right and try your hardest and still, because of things completely out of your control, end up not succeeding. Um and I'll give myself as an example. Like, I I lift weights, I exercise, and most people in the United States do not do that. The younger generation does that a lot more, I will say that, but on the aggregate, most people in the United States do not exercise. And I exercise with so many different challenges. I'm literally in a chair, but I found a way with a single 15-pound weight. I'm not bulking right now, so um I haven't gone higher in about 4 years, 4 or 5 years or so. Um and seated exercises. Okay, that's good. But guess what? I still don't have that much muscle mass because I literally can't walk. Leg and I still even do leg exercises, guys. But I still have chicken legs. um and it's still because the pathology of my condition is centered in, the brain. That's never gonna make me walk. That doesn't mean don't still do it. Obviously, I love it. It's my main hobby, probably, aside from this and a few other things. But yeah, also, I'm educated and I've made my own way through my education. But you know what? As I've talked about here before, and I'll leave a link to that video in the description about how the US government prevents us from living independently and from pursuing our happiness by limiting our income. I'm still gonna have trouble with that. And I'm never, for the foreseeable future now, I've also been an advocating of sacrifice, or an advocate of sacrificing yourself for the future, and I will do that, and I will engage in activism for sure. But there will never be, in the foreseeable future, realistically, a time where I will live independently for my lifetime, probably. I hope I'm wrong about that, but as things stand right now, we have to be real. That's not gonna happen, and it's not my fault. I've picked myself up by my bootstraps to the best that I can. And you know who is voting against measures that would help me out in that situation more than Democrats? Republicans and conservatives are voting against those measures. They have never cared about me. And so yeah, those are the two biggest things. Another thing is friendship. I go out, I walk, I try to be as accommodating to people as possible. I could probably do a little bit more as far as going to actual events where there are a lot of people. I do need to work on that, but again, I've made over these past 2 years, really 5 years. I had a bit of an internal moral reform about 5 years ago, but in terms of the going outside stuff, I've done that for the past 2 years, and I've not made a single friend that I can do stuff regularly with, that isn't busy with their own lives, or that has included me in a friend group. So despite picking myself up by my bootstraps in those two situations, and there are many more, those are just the two biggest ones that come to mind right now. I have seen no progress, literally, for things completely outside of my control, guys. And if there are any conservatives watching this, I hope this will serve to start you thinking, or maybe even change your mind, because as I said at the beginning, you can do everything right and still lose. And I've lost a lot. As much as I've gained and as much as I've learned from this country, I've also lost a lot. And I'm still picking myself up each and every day. And I think you should try, but you should also remember that we should work to build a more equitable world for each other, guys. We really should. Alright, bye.